Hi and welcome. In this video, I'll show you how to automatically create an NDA that's ready to sign just from filling a form. You need three things: a fynk account with an NDA template, a form tool like Google Forms, Tally, Typeform, or whatever you like, and Zapier to connect them all together. Let's get started. Click the plus button to create a new template. You can also search our public templates for an NDA if you don't already have one. I'm just going to start fresh and import my own. You'll see a preview and you have a chance to do a little bit of formatting if it's needed. Here you can see that I've highlighted the sections that needs to be filled in by the recipient of the NDA. What we're going to do is to change each of these fields into a dynamic field, so Zapier can read them and fill them with information it gets from the form. The first thing you need to do is to create two parties. One is you and the other is the recipient. Go to the Parties and Signatories panel and hit Add Party. You can add your business here and you can choose your signatory if you already know who signs the NDA. But for this example, I'm just going to assign it to this user and hit Save. The same exactly goes for the recipient party. Go ahead and choose a person. You don't need to add any information about them yet, just the reference is enough. Now, if you go back to the Content tab, you can see that two sets of new fields have been added, which has the name, address, and reference of each party. What you have to do is to replace the static placeholders in the text with one of these fields. And for the other fields, like dates and email addresses, you can create dynamic fields from this tab. All you have to do is to delete the placeholder, choose the appropriate field type, and give it a name. And here's the cool part. For the date, you can also autofill it based on the specific moment. For example, I'll set it on the start of the signing process, so the effective date is automatically the signing date. I'll do the same for the rest of the dynamic fields. The last step is to add the signature blocks. You don't actually need any of the signer details because the signature blocks in fynk already have that information. So from the side menu, grab a signature block and just drag and drop it to where each party is going to sign the NDA. The next step is to create your form. I'm using a simple tool like Google Forms and I've added the questions I need to ask each recipient. And I can share it on my website or send it as a link or whatever I like. Now it's time to create the automation. To do that, go to Zapier and create a new Zap. As a trigger, you want to use Google Forms or whatever platform you're using to receive forms. For the trigger event, choose New Form Response and make sure your account is already connected. Then go to the Configure page and choose the NDA form you want to use for the automation. For the action, you want to choose fynk. For the action event, you choose Create Document from Template. If you haven't got your API key, you have to go to fynk Settings, then API Integration, and click on fynk API. Click Configure and create a new token. Just make sure you set the role to Document Manager. Now, back in Zapier, in the Configure section, choose the fynk template you used for this NDA. Once you do, you'll see all of the fields that need to be mapped out between Google Forms and fynk's dynamic fields. So go ahead and map out these fields, and once it's ready, we can test it out. Toward the end, you'll see an option to move the document straight to the signing stage when the form is filled. That means that immediately after a form is completed, the recipient receives the document for signature. To do that, go ahead and set it to true. You'll see that 3 new options are now available to you. Signature type, I'll just use the simple signature for this one. Sequential signing, this just decides whether you or the recipient signs first. And a signing message. When everything looks good, go ahead and continue. The next step is to actually test our automation, which is where the fun actually begins. So go ahead and fill in the form that you already created and test whether the automation looks good. Click submit. Then go back to fynk and in your document list. And here it is. You can see here that it's already in the signing stage, and if you open it, you can see the recipient is now filled in and the other dynamic fields are filled as well. All you have to do now is to click here to sign it, and you can choose any method you like for signing, and it's done from your side. If you're interested to see how your recipient will see it, here's a sample email they get from you in their inbox. And you can see our personalized message is included as well. Hope you find this video helpful.